Over the summer, we spoke about Michael Mercia. We talked about a good problem they have with all these guys. Is it an even bigger problem now?
The problem.
A good problem now, meaning the push he's making.
Oh yeah. No, I thought he had a tremendous training camp also in that aspect. But he does a lot of things that are hard to find in the league. You know, puck possession down low, the way he creates things in front of the net. You see it time and time again in the games you're watching him. But he's very good. He's come down and set his mind on a bigger prize here, and he's going to develop at this level here.
What is he? Is there anything he's doing better now compared to even the end of last year?
I don't know if it's anything better. I think you saw what he was capable of during the playoffs. But sometimes you rate these guys on how quick they adapt to the league. He's a kid coming out of college, and you saw within 40 games last year he was starting to understand the league, and he's starting to take over. So, basically the message to him this year out of camp was continue that. And things will open up for you.
He mentioned a word that you and I talked about, pace.
Yeah.
Playing at the NHL pace, and then he also mentioned leadership just now. What are you seeing in that from that?
Yeah, the leadership part he can pick up here quick after a year. They had a team that went in, going on and winning the Turner Cup and things. He was a big part of that. He'll be able to pick that leadership up. The pace he played in, I think, was 6 preseason games, all of them for us. So, he's understanding what that level is going to be like. He was around the NHL guys that whole training camp, so he understands that.
Seems like a guy who can come up pretty much any time and fill in a role.
Yeah, for sure. And, I think what he does now is he hones his game at this level. So when the opportunity comes, it's not just a given opportunity. He's ready to make that step and doesn't look back after that.
How often are you providing feedback to
we talk quite a bit. We have a development staff that's down here very often. I mean, it's only been maybe a month since they've been up and running here, but we've seen the benefits time and time again. We just saw it a couple days ago with Jamie McBain. One of our players came down with the flu in San Jose. We were able to get him in the afternoon. So, but as far as our guys are here a lot. We had a group here last night, another group here. Our development guys are in next week. So we're in constant contact with these guys.
What have you seen? Have you seen anything these first few games that surprises you, that pleases you?
Always ready to compete. I think that's one thing Coach Stothers has put into the program from the start of last year, and it carried him on through the playoffs and that, but you see it again here. I think the goaltending, I think Peter Budaj has been able to solidify that after, with the injury to Bartosak and losing Berube on waivers. Our goaltender situation, stuff that's not planned when you come into the season kind of takes a turn. So I think that's solidified itself. And having Schultz down here too, another veteran who understands the game and understands, but what he does is off-ice preparations and things help these young kids learn. So,
how important is that to have a guy like that, or to have a Ray Emery come down here, a Brissonette, guys that can set that example?
They won last year with those guys helping lead the way. The young guys, they coming out of college, coming out of junior, they need help understanding that. When you can have guys that have played in the pro, I mean, we got Budaj and Emery and Schultz, and you can add these guys in the mix, and they're also not down here just putting their time in. They're actually putting the work in, and they're helping these young kids. So very, very important, and I think we saw the rewards from it last year.
Rob, can you tell me about Zikov's adjustment?
Yeah. Another guy you counted on big things coming out of junior. Ready to make that step for a pro. I think they surround him with some good players here, and he gets to step right in and compete at that level. But I think that's what Coach Stothers is real good about with these young guys, is mixing them with some of the older guys. So, they fit into different lines here, and they contribute on the team.
With Zikov and Cernak, Coach is just saying the language barrier can be tough for them.
Yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? That adjustment
that's all part of that learning curve. Not only are they trying to figure out the pro style game and that, but understanding the language. Cernak a little more than Zikov. At least he was over, but he's playing at Quebec League, so now he's trying to understand California language. So, that's a little different. So, there's all different styles. But I think just the living habits, living on their own too. A lot of these guys have been with billet families or been with different situations. Now they're turning pro, and so there's that whole part of that game, and that's where I think those veteran guys I've talked about really have command on this team.
Can you talk a little bit about McDowell?
Yeah, Nick's, same thing. I think along the lines of Michael Mercia. They really developed their first year of pro. Now it's time to take that next step. But he was a big factor in that lineup down the middle. I mean, obviously, the success to win the Turner Cup, you have good goaltending, you have good defense, you have strong middle. And I think we had all of that last year with this team. And now with the absence of Wheel, he's already jumped up to that top unit now.
Does it show, I guess, with him wearing an A, does it show that he's taking a big jump?
Yep. And he's a little older coming out of college. The age part isn't there. He's not a typical 20-year-old coming out of junior and that. But I do think when we talked about the leadership part, that being able to win the Turner Cup the Calder Cup, I keep calling it Turner Cup, Calder Cup, and be able to go through all those different rounds all the way through, the experience that those guys are gaining coming out of those playoff rounds will be with them for a long time.
Well, you touched on it. Coming out of college gives them kind of a leg up on the whole maturity thing too, doesn't it?
Yeah. You start to kind of get your life in order in
Right.
college and different things, and the maturity part is there. The pro experience wasn't, and but they've been able to take it a little faster than what a 20-year-old may look like at first.